got mail.
Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next hour or so, along with Spence.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Happy
morning.
New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too and to everybody.
Kind of crazy when you think back. How many New Year's days have you been through?
Yep.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Hey, that's fine as long as we can make a few more.
Yeah.
Katie's not here. It's her birthday, so she's having a brunch with some friends. Gal is still in Israel, and Nick said he was going to join, but I don't know where he is. He may be oversleeping, but it's okay.
He's got to have a day when he can do that.
Our number is 561-518-9773. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Yep, another year.
Yes, sir. Well, sometimes I go into the new year like, gee, how is this going to work out? And sometimes I go into the new year and I think like, oh, this is good. And this is a good one, I think.
It's always good.
Yep.
Because the alternative is worse.
This year I'm let me adjust my camera. For some reason I'm way I'm seeing myself in frame, but on the feed,
I know that's because there's nobody else on. And
oh, okay, yeah.
let me see something here.
Yeah, I can't zoom out
And
anymore.
if I'll do this and this. All right.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, but when Nick comes in,
It'll
when Nick comes
change.
in, I'm gonna have to raise it up again. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. What? Oh, you were just gonna adjust. Never mind. So
I'm good.
the thing that rules the airwave is AI again.
Oh boy. And I know people are familiar now with the term AI slop.
Yep.
Oh boy, it is just taking over YouTube.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I shouldn't say taking over, but it is everywhere.
You
go in, you find
it is taking over.
and
They don't
like
even know. They don't even know what's AI and what's not.
And I like to go to YouTube to look at historical documentaries and people doing things that I want to watch them do and learn from. But even in the like automotive section where you say best things to do, 5 things to do for your car,
Mm-hmm.
AI, and you can always tell with the voice because there'll be weird pauses at times and mispronunciation of words and things. And no, it sometimes it's okay, but the thing that they're doing now is how many minutes you have to be on YouTube before you can cash in on how long do people have to watch it? It's something built into the algorithm for how
Yeah,
you
it is.
pay,
I have no idea.
right? But you find that there's maybe in a 35-minute history overview of something, say it's a German airplane, there's actually 15 minutes of real content, and the rest is rehashing the same thing over and over again with slightly different wording. And showing, and then the historical pictures, what they'll do is they'll just scroll through. Here's a picture of an airplane. Isn't the one you're talking about? Then there'll be a picture of something else. But it really isn't related to what we're talking about. Just throwing pictures up there. And then you find ones that are just not accurate.
And talking about not accurate, listen to this. Wired asked leading chatbots, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, the same question a little before 9 a.m. Eastern yesterday. In all cases, he said, we use the free default version of the service since that's what the majority of users experience. We also ask AI search platform Perplexity, which advertises accurate, trusted, and real time answer to any question. ChatGPT did not correct, did not course correct. Instead, it emphatically refuted that Maduro had been captured at all. That didn't happen, it wrote. The United States has not invaded Venezuela and Nicolas Maduro has not been captured. It then rationalized. This is at 9 in the morning, where everybody's news site is already, like it was okay. We're waiting for more information. We know everything now, what happened, but we're waiting for the president to talk about it. And those chatbots still don't know it. What that means to me is it's true. They're not real time. If it
So,
was real time, they would have found out at what, 1 something in the morning when it first broke.
well, you got to remember, this is not an inquisitive entity that's constantly looking for updates. It's curated. It's like, okay, we're gonna throw all this into the LLM library based on the
Well,
last couple of hours, and then hopefully it'll come out with a an answer that makes sense.
well, the
I found
answer.
I use Grok and I use I forget what the other one was, but I like using Grok because if I'm in an X looking at stories, I can go in. But I use it now for like I'm working on a car now. I'm working on a I've last month or so I've worked on 2 different cars, and I go in and I say, is there a mid-year change in the Toyota 2016 Corolla?
Mhm.
No, there isn't. This is the motor. You got to do this, and it's all wrong information. Then I say, oh, but isn't there a? I found this. Oh, yes, you're right.
You just
So
trained
you
it.
have to. Yeah, it's like you got to understand. It's like you're a lawyer you're interrogating somebody, cross-examining somebody on the stand in a trial,
No.
and you go. They say, "Were you there?" No, I wasn't there. Well, here I have a picture. You were there. Yes, I was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to understand that this is not necessarily accurate.
It's something. But the problem is that somebody may this is just one uh, example of it, but people that are writing reports and things like that, and they want to use it a little bit. This is why, whatever it tells you, you need to go and double check other sites. If you're talking about like the Toyota mid-year changes, if anything like that, you
Yes.
need to check. You can't just depend on it. Not yet, anyway. I mean, I don't see why it's not going out and actively looking for information. We do
To
it.
be honest,
We
I
do
don't
it.
know how it works. To
Oh,
be
yeah,
honest,
I
I'm not
know.
sure how they
Yeah.
build it. What's built into it to get updated? I don't know how that works.
I don't know. It's
So
artificial intelligence.
I used it to. I, I want to talk about it when we're done with this about some computer stuff that I've done
Okay,
the
you
last
go
week.
ahead. Yeah,
But
it's fine.
the point was that I was going and searching for information about specific processors, and I was in the middle of building a Windows 11 machine for a friend
Hmm.
and trying to find a really cost-effective solution, not real complicated. A couple of requirements: email, browsing, um, screen reader, things like that. That had to happen. So I'm looking. I want to find the most cost-effective Windows 11 box I can get because they're running on an old Pentium machine running Windows 10. So I'm out there looking, and I really like the Lenovo Think Center, the small ones. It's literally like the size of a book,
Right.
and really powerful. I've set up several of these for clients when I used to do the IT stuff, and really good, solid machines. And you see them, if you go to a lot of doctors' offices, whether you walk into the treatment or into the room, they've got a screen on a swing arm, and behind the screen, if it's a Lenovo, the PC is like just in a little shelf on the back of the monitor.
Yeah, it's hanging
You
there.
can so you're not buying an all in one, so you can upgrade it, but it's really convenient. So I go out and I'm looking, and I think it was for $299, they had a Lenovo. Uh, it was an A4 processor, and it says not, it's not good for graphics. That's not why you buy it. So I said, I don't care about graphics, and so wind up buying this. It comes loaded. It was 16 gig of memory, of 1 terabyte SSD,
Wow.
had every imaginable connection on. It's got for video. It's got DisplayPort, which is very flexible. You can just buy a
Hmm.
DisplayPort adapter. It's got USB 3. It's got built-in Wi-Fi 6. It's got, oh, well, not Wi-Fi 6. Pretty recent Wi-Fi, and I knew it wasn't the latest model, right? So I buy it. I'm setting it up. I set up Windows 11 Pro, going through the motions of installing software, and I'm having weird problems. And I was starting to wonder what's going on. Let me make sure that everything's updated, because there's a screen reader application called JAWS. It's very popular in the blind community. A great tool. But I'm trying to load this and I'm getting errors, and it says make sure you're at the latest version of Windows. So I'm looking. I was like, wait a minute, this machine is at the 2003 version of Windows 11. I said that's weird. So I click
19.
on update, and it says you're up to date.
2019, not 2003.
No, I mean, no, 2019 was the drivers, but the actual version of Windows 11 that was on it Pro was 2003 H2.
Oh,
And
okay.
so there are two more updates and another one coming for features that I wanted to have, because it just gets better. So I cannot get it to load. And I'm starting to search online. Why can't I update these Lenovo machines? So find out that, well, guess what? The processor in this machine is not supported with Windows 11. Never was.
But it had
And
Windows 11 on it.
it had a Windows 11 on it, which was put on using registry hacks and whatever the latest
Hmm.
scheme is to get Windows 11 to run on an unsupported platform. So how is that a good thing? Well, first of all, they advertise Windows 11 Pro, right?
Yeah. They're
Not
not
telling
lying.
you,
They're not
the
lying.
hard. So going through this now, the I was looking at the terms and conditions for this particular vendor. This was not sold by Lenovo; it was sold by a third party. And it says only accepting returns on dead on delivery and damaged products. Basically, you can't return it. So I call Amazon. And they said, well, try to start the return. If they give you some grief, call us back. Because I explained to them, I said, they're misrepresenting this. And I actually wrote a comment on Amazon about it, like warning people this is not supported. And because other people have the same issues. So they agreed to take the return. But I'm thinking, well, I don't. Maybe I just don't want to. I'm looking at prices, and I can't find anything even close in the price range
Hmm.
to something like this. And I want something small and compact. So I decide I'm going to keep this. I'm going to run Windows 10. Got a license for it, no problem. And I'll use OPatch. I went and reviewed OPatch and see, what are you going to get for the $25 a year subscription? And it'll be many years out, at least 5 years out, that they'll continue to support it. They've got a
Hmm.
big corporate um, offering too, that for a lot of these embedded machines. I looked into Windows 10 long-term support. Have you ever looked at that?
Wait, what do you mean long term?
They have a version of, you know how they've got Linux distributions that are called LTS,
Yeah.
long-term support, that they
Oh,
don't
oh,
change.
I did
They
not
keep,
look at the
yeah,
Windows
they
10
don't keep
LTS.
up. It's not updated the way
Yeah.
like the new versions come out. Well, to say have the same thing for Windows 10, and it's designed for embedded machines
Mm-hmm.
where you've got medical machines, power, anything related to industrial use of the PC. And so you could get that, but you got to buy a subscription from Microsoft to use it. And it just wasn't cost effective. It might be a good idea. It's missing a lot of things that I don't need, which is okay.
And that's probably what those embedded don't need also.
They're right. They don't need,
It doesn't
they
matter.
don't
Yeah, they
need,
don't need
what
them.
is it? Copilot. They don't
Yeah, yeah.
need cloud and all that stuff. But the point was, I decided to go with OPatch because it's much cheaper and you're going to get all the updates you need. They'll actually be patching Outlook and Office
Mm-hmm.
too as part of it. So I thought this was really cool. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm in the process now of installing
Yeah.
Windows 10 on it. But beware of these machines online. And I found it was true with older refurbished Dells and HPs that they're selling repurposed machines that
With
don't
with Windows 11,
with Windows 11 on it
but
that is not supported.
yeah, very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
And that's all I
Yeah.
have to say about that.
All right. Enough said. The Atlanta Journal Constitution has printed its final newspaper, marking the end of a 157-year chapter in Georgia's history and officially transitioning the long-time publication into a fully digital news outlet. The front page story of the final print edition asks a fitting question: what is the future of local media in Atlanta? The historic last issue is also being sold for $8, a significant increase from its typical $2 price. Wednesday, December 31st marks the last day the AJC will be delivered to driveway across Metro Atlanta. And this is not just Atlanta. There's a
Oh,
lot
it's
of
everywhere. It's everywhere.
and I'm thinking, you know who's the loser, in my opinion?
Ooh.
Young kids.
Oh yeah. Mm.
To
When
have
I was
a
in when I was in elementary school, one day a week we
yeah,
would get copies of the New York Times.
that's not
And
what I'm talking about. I'm talking about delivering. Have a paper route. There's
oh,
no more
delivering the
paper
papers.
route.
Yeah. I don't know if there's that many kids paper routes anymore. I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
mostly
I'm
done
sure
mostly
there
done
are,
by
but it's a shame.
it is.
But there's nothing you can do. It's progress.
I delivered papers for 3 years when I was on
Well,
bicycle by Newsday on Long Island, and I had a route. It was good. It was good training for responsibility.
yeah,
Didn't make a lot of money. I think I
you
made maybe
don't,
five
but
five or
it's
$6 a week.
yeah, but it teaches you,
Yeah.
which is nice. Yeah, there's just
But the school side of a newspaper, where we would read the paper, the teacher was really cool, and she taught us how to fold it right so you could ride on the subway and read the paper. Because the New York Times
there
is
is
a long form
so there's a
paper.
science to it.
What's that?
There is a science to it.
There's a science to folding it the right way, so you can like you open it and start to read an article, and without having to open all the way to get to the next page.
Oh,
It was on the subway. Think about that, a
yeah,
crowded
yeah.
subway. How are you going to do that? So they taught us how to do that.
Oh,
We actually got a tour of the New York Times. We went as a cool school trip. Took us through the all the machines, the typesetting machines. They called them linotype. You ever see one of those,
no,
Amnon?
uh-uh.
It's a gigantic machine that melts lead. You put it in a hopper in the top. It's got a slug of lead that goes down on the chain, gets melted, and they type, and it makes the
Oh,
the actual type that goes into the press to make the newspaper. So they had people that were creating the strips of type, and then the people that would assemble it into the box that creates the. I don't remember how it worked exactly, but they would actually run the. That's how they would proofread it, and then they would print it.
Hmm. Interesting.
Sorry, I'm going
Yep.
back to
No,
these
yeah.
past memories here, but I had worked when I was in high school. My senior year in high school, I was a messenger in Manhattan that would go after school. I'd go to a printing shop and pick up copy for editing to businesses in Manhattan, and I rode the train in and rode the train out. But the company I was working for had several of these big linotype machines, and they were transitioning over to electronic typesetting. And I got to see and this is 1972, and it was the very beginning of electronic, and they were uh, like bleeding edge. They were trying. It was a older company, and they were just going to ask. I thought it was so fascinating.
Hmm. All right. We were talking about Windows and compatibility or
Or
offline
incompatibility.
Oh, what?
I said or
Or
incompatibility.
offline Windows activation has been possible to do using the phone. However, it looks like Microsoft has quietly killed off that method as users online have found that they are no longer able to activate the operating system using it.
Hmm.
Now, when trying to activate the OS by attempting to call the phone number for Microsoft product activation, an automated voice response says the following: support for product activation has moved online. For the fastest and most convenient way to activate your product, please visit our online product activation portal at aka.ms/AOH. If you are wondering, that link takes users to the Microsoft Product Activation portal for online activation. Thus, it appears that offline ways to activate Windows may no longer be available, even though the official support documentation by the company may not reflect it yet. So they said that it's still available in their documentation, but it's really not available anymore. The truth is, I don't know. When is the last time you had to do it by phone?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So, but there are obviously people if they found out, there are obviously people who are trying it and doing it for some reason.
Well,
That's
I can understand there could be circumstances for it, but
yeah.
in my adventure with Windows 11 Pro, I did discover something. I don't know if it'll be useful or not, or
Oh,
if it works with the newer versions of Windows 11. But you know how you sometimes want to create a local account?
yeah.
You can't do it setting it up initially. You have to have I just couldn't find, there may be a way around it. I couldn't find anything. But if you want to add a local account, you can create the original account, go in, add a new user, and say, they tell you, well, what's their login for the new user? You say, I don't have that information. You click on that and you create a local account. And it works. And I did that and I deleted the original the original one to see what would happen, and it still worked. So, but I think there's probably hazards to doing that.
Huh. So what happens now if you are not connected to the internet?
Oh, you're still connected, but
No. What
see, that's
happens
what.
if you're not connected to the internet when you're setting it up? That's how we used to do it.
Yes, I don't know, to be honest. I just stumbled across that. The reason I did that was I had started to create um, work on the Windows 11 setup for this person, and I had used their ID to log in, and I didn't want to. I thought when I was going to return this that I want to wipe it. So what I did was I created the local account, went back and deleted the original account so that there wouldn't be anything on the machine of their account.
Okay.
Because I didn't know what they were going to do with it when they got it back.
All right, let's see what else we have here. One psychiatrist has already treated 12 patients hospitalized with AI induced psychosis, and 3 more in an outpatient clinic, according to the Wall Street Journal. And while AI technology might not introduce the delusion that the person tells the computer it's their reality and the computer accepts it as truth and reflects it back, a psychiatrist at the University of California calling the AI chatbots complicit in cycling that delusion. You really need to watch out what you're doing. And I mean, this is a machine talking to you, a
Yep.
machine that's been programmed, not a machine that's thinking for itself. Don't, I mean, there's a limit of what you should, how you should interact with something like that.
There's a lot of stories about people that's their only friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying. It's dangerous.
there's that suicide lawsuit now against, and I don't remember what version of
Yeah, that's in the
AI
early
it was.
days. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's tragic. I mean,
of course it is. Yeah,
and it was egging this person on. Oh, here's different ways you can kill yourself.
it's absolutely ridiculous. But people are still doing it.
But the part that makes me sad and angry about it is why aren't there the proponents of AI? This is the way we should go. It's great. We should all do it. It's like they don't mention it. They don't talk about that. About how what are the dangers?
Yeah.
No.
Um,
Use it, but understand what you're using.
absolutely. Don't just use it and take it for granted. I mean, people go to the doctor, and if they hear something that can affect their future, they go and get a second opinion. But
Yep.
here you talking mainly probably about kids, and that's bad. Anyway, New York City's statewide smartphone ban that went into effect this fall has been largely successful at getting students to focus in class and socialize at lunch, but teachers across the city have discovered an unexpected side effect. Many teenagers cannot read analog clocks.
Yes.
The
We were
constant refrain is, Miss, Miss, what time is it? That's a teacher at a high school, an English teacher at a high school in Manhattan, who eventually started responding by asking students to identify the big hand and the little hand themselves. An assistant principal at Cardozo High School in Queens said the ban has helped move foot traffic more swiftly through hallways and gotten more students to class on time. They just don't know it because they can't read the wall clocks. The city education department says students learned clock reading in first and second grade. A 2017 Oklahoma study found only 1 in 5 children aged 6 to 12 could read analog clocks. England began replacing classroom analog clocks with digital ones in 2018. I would say teach them to read the analog clocks.
Well, what happens with Big Ben? Is Big Ben going to go digital?
I was just thinking, somebody's standing there in the square and looking at Big Ben and ask, "Mom, what time is it?" You
Yeah.
know, that is so sad. It's the same
It's
situation with printers and computers that kids don't know how to write cursive anymore, and they don't even teach it in school.
Yep.
it's we're losing a lot of these things that. Can you imagine if there was a what do you call it, the nuclear explosion in space?
Oh, electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
EMP,
EMP.
and computers don't work, and electronic clocks don't work anymore. Can you imagine where we would be?
Oh, in the Stone Age.
Sheesh.
And
No, I mean
within
it'll be the Stone Age, but even in the Stone Age, they knew how to tell time.
and that they knew how to forage for food.
Yeah.
You'd have think about and there's a few people. There's one person in particular, a commentator, that wrote a very interesting book called The Long Emergency, and it talks about how we're constantly there's always something that's we got to watch out for this and all these terrible things that are going to happen. Well, what happens if it happens?
Okay.
It's not unprecedented in history and civilizations that civilizations collapse, and it's the people who have skills. And I unfortunately I was helping uh, someone whose husband was a good friend of mine who passed away, helping go through his stuff. And I found books that he was reading, like blacksmithing, how to do blacksmithing, how to do like all these very complicated books on knots and also uh, growing food and things like that. That it's like, yeah, it's not like I want to do that, do it now today, but I want to know at least that there's a way to survive. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, not all the trades are going to be useful.
No,
Uh, if a plumber, yeah, but if there's no water coming in because the
right.
in the city, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things there. Yeah, but let's not think about this.
I think
Bury our head in the sand. It's fine.
it's just good to be aware of it.
Yep. All right. The great return to office battle has effectively concluded, and a clear pecking order has emerged, according to Sander van Noordens, the CEO of Randstad, which is a staffing giant. Remote work is becoming a status symbol reserved for star performers and those possessing rare skills. You have to be very special to be able to demand a 100% remote job. That's increasingly the story. You have to have a very special technology skills or some expertise.
I can think
Everybody,
of another reason to get it:
what?
have bad hygiene.
So don't take a
Right?
shower when you
Just
go
don't
into the
take a
office.
shower, go in dirty clothes, and you know, oh, you need to work from home.
Everybody's going to sign paper that says, no, let him work from home.
Hey, I need to put out a YouTube video talking about how to coach people and to get to work from home. Yeah.
Spence, remember them days? 3 decades after RFC 1883 promised to future proof the internet by expanding the available pool of IP addresses from around 4.3 billion to over 340 undecillion.
Okay.
That's from
Did they run out already?
IPv4 to IPv6.
Did they run out already of IPv6?
It says IPv6 has yet to achieve the dominance its creators envisioned.
Yeah.
Data from Google, AppNic, and Cloudflare analyzed by the Register shows less than half of all internet users rely on IPv6 today. And there are still situations where, I mean, today almost every ISP gives you an IPv6 also, IPv6 and IPv4. If you do what is my IP address, in most cases, you'll see both.
I remember that. Yeah. You can look at it on your machine too.
Yeah. So there are still problems with emails, and that's not because of users, it's because of ISPs and support of IPv6. In the early days of IPv6, we went ahead and said, yeah, here, let's install it. Remember, we got a router that can do IPv6.
Yes.
And people could not get their email for some reason. I was getting, and not all, some. And we looked at it and got down to the point of, oh, if you have IPv6 enabled in Windows, then there could be a problem. So from then on, every machine that I have, or when I set up, I go in and I disable IPv6. So people will not have a problem, so they don't have to call. There's still plenty of IPv4. Hey, Nick, good morning.
Sorry, I overslept.
That's all right. I figured that.
We were saying that you deserve to get.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Time.
happened.
Yeah.
So IPv4 is still plentiful out there, but IPv6 is nice for certain things.
Not for remembering IP addresses, it's not.
Well, no, not for remembering IP address. Good luck.
What is it? Like
give me an
30
IPv6 with this mask.
What is it?
how many characters is it? It's a lot.
8 groups of 4s.
I'm looking.
2,
Let's see.
3, 4, 5, or 6. I can't remember. But
It's
the thing
31
is,
characters.
huh?
It's 31 characters.
No,
it's not. No,
it
it's
can't.
16.
Yeah, that's more like it. The thing is, with IPv4, your network, your local network, is only 255, 254 IPs. That's the max that you can support on one network, like 192.168.0.1 through, or 192.168.1 dot. With IPv4, IPv6, I can't remember the exact number, but I remember a comment that Ron made when we switched over, and he said, "This is ridiculous. This one IPv6 range has more IPs than the whole internet with IPv4s."
Yeah, but I mean,
It's-
but you think about now. I think, Amnon, how many? And I know that all of the devices in your house do not have access to the internet, do
Right.
not have publicly addressable addresses on the internet.
Right.
But what do you have in your house? 200 connected devices between phones and smart plugs and smart thermostats and light bulbs
yeah,
and
maybe.
cameras and
Right.
all that stuff. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And so when I don't know, I mean,
If I go
guess-
over, what do I do? Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, with all of these smart, put those in quotes, devices.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Internet of Things.
Yeah,
But
Internet of Things, exactly.
Yeah.
What's interesting is in my network, it's an unintended consequence, but it's a good one. In that I have, for example, water and temperature sensors around the house. They're not on IP. They're on 900 megahertz radio, and they talk to a controller.
Mm-hmm.
And it has its own addressing scheme and has one IP address that the controller uses to access the network. And this is true for the what is it? The YoLink is the one company I use for temperature and water sensors and power monitoring. And then there's UMA has a alarm system that works on 900 megahertz. So the good news is that I've saved all those addresses. Well, I didn't intend to do that when I bought the products. I didn't really realize how beneficial it would be, but
The
Well,
one
Gal obviously talks a lot about Home Assistant and Z-Wave and all that. None of that stuff is IP driven either. That's
Yeah.
all.
That's
It's not
that's
900, but it's a RF frequency.
Yeah.
the one comment that was on that article was that back then we relied on IP addresses to find something.
Mhm.
Today it's more the DNS. It's by name, which I don't understand because the name has to be attached to an IP address, but apparently DNS can work without an IP. That's what they were saying.
Well,
I
I mean, it can, but it won't resolve anything. I mean,
well,
if I
you
go
see,
to
that's the thing.
website doesn'texist.com, I mean, it will do something, but it won't resolve. There's not going to be anything hosted on it.
Yeah, I don't know how they could say that, but
actually it's
And
the hidden part of it is there's a guy in a room somewhere that gets the request and he has a paper log. He looks it up. Oh, it's here.
that's why
They don't want
sometimes
you to
my
know.
trying to go to websites have been slow recently. I wonder if this guy's been
That's it. He's been
he's
he's
been
overworked.
slow.
he's out.
Yeah,
he's out.
overworked.
He's out today. He's sick.
Yeah.
Christmas, New Year's break for the DNS guy has
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
really troublesome.
And
boy.
Apple is not expected to release a standard iPhone 18 model this year, according to a growing number of reports that suggests the company is planning a significant change to its long-standing annual iPhone launch cycle. Despite the immense success of the iPhone 17 in 2025, the iPhone 18 is not expected to arrive until the spring of 2027, leaving the iPhone 17 in the lineup as the latest standard model for over 18 months. This would mark the first time Apple skips an entire calendar year without releasing a new generation of its flagship non-Pro iPhone.
Great.
People will save a little money because they won't
Yeah.
be running to get the very next one.
No, you're not correct. They're not going to save a little money.
What?
They're going to save a lot of money.
A lot of money. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I guess you will. We saw this in the PC hardware industry, and I mean, it's not long before the phone industry is there too. There's only so much that you can change or do, especially in literally 12 months, which is what we're talking about for release cycles.
Right.
This will probably become more of the norm. I mean, obviously I didn't live through it, but looking at some history back in the 80s and 90s and even the early 2000s, I mean, every year you had Intel or AMD or Nvidia, you know, depending on if it was a graphics card or a CPU, some new flagship product almost every single year.
Mm-hmm.
That has kind of stopped because the increments are so, you know, when you've got a 25 nanometer die, I mean, you can only do so many improvements on that in the span of a year before some major technological breakthrough allows you to either shrink the silicon more or pack more onto the payload. I mean, something has to change. You can't do that in 12 months.
And just the cost of the redying and the research you have to do to realize that physics can be subverted in some
Seriously.
ways. Coming up with, oh, we figured out how to change the laws of gravity. Nick, we were talking earlier about an experience that I had with a vendor selling a Lenovo ThinkCenter Mini,
Mhm.
Windows 11 Pro on it on an unsupported processor, and
Ah.
didn't realize it until tried to set the machine up and could not get past Windows 11 Pro 23H2. Could not upgrade
Interesting.
it past that. So, but we talked about it earlier, but it was interesting to find out that there are vendors selling on Amazon these machines, Windows 11 Pro, and they could be repurposed machines or new machines, old stock. Watch out. because
You
they're
bought this on Amazon?
Mhm.
Amazon. Yes.
Really? Now I know this is popular on eBay because there's a lot of what is the name called for the not retail chips? Completely drawing a blank. Like they're like essentially like R&D, like Intel and AMD. I mean, they have thousands of R&D chips that eventually kind of squeak their way out into the public, not for public consumption, but people get their hands on them. And for all intents and purposes, they are the MSRP stock chip, but they're not licensed as that. They don't report as that because they're some sort of internal R&D chip, and that's very prominent on eBay when you're buying used computers. There's a lot of these. I call them fake. They're not, but fake. It's not an i3 1300K. It's a tech spec chip that is 99% of that, but it doesn't report to Windows that, hey, this is what I am. Very prominent on eBay. Did not know that was making its way to Amazon.
It was interesting. I'm trying to set up JAWS screen reader on this, and I was having issues with drivers. So I'm going into Windows Update and couldn't update. It said, you're at the latest level. I was like, well, this isn't right. So I look and it says available drivers. We're all from, like, you could upgrade to these drivers. We're all from 2019. I was like, wait, something's not right here. And I found out what it was. And then I called Amazon to say, first I wrote a comment on the offering to say, this is fake. And then I actually called Amazon and they said, well, you try to return it. And the vendor said, only unopened boxes or dead on arrival will we accept as a return. So I did process the return and they gave me a receipt to come back, but there's no idea whether I'll actually get a refund. So I decided to repurpose it. I'm going to use it with Windows 10 with OPatch. But the point was that these are out there. And Amazon, they must know about it. I mean, there are comments in the actual product to say that I'm having trouble doing updates. They didn't know why. They didn't say, this is because it's a bootleg. The other thing was, do you know what Belloc Advisor is?
Yeah, the flashing software.
I said, well, if I'm going to use this machine, I'm going to get the Windows 11 license from this. Belloc couldn't find it.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Yeah,
didn't exist. So
yeah, I mean, it's a good. I see on Facebook Marketplace a lot. There'll be people selling. These aren't scams, but people selling older computers that are running not probably Windows 11, probably more Windows 10, just because of the TPM and all that fun jazz that we've talked about over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And these machines are, they're selling these old Dell, not Optiplexes, but like 2010 Dells with Windows 10 specs for like $60. And it's like, okay, you can't be selling me physical hardware and a legitimate license for a copy of Windows for $60. Like, that's just there's no universe where that is a legitimate.
There's a catch.
Well, and here's the thing. For the end user, the catch on a pirated version of Windows is non-existent. I mean, you're probably not going to have an issue, but you're definitely, like Spence said, you're not going to be able to get the key off of it because it doesn't exist.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
And here's one right now. This is a Lenovo Idea Center. Looks to be like circa 2012, with Windows 10 Pro being sold on Facebook Marketplace here in Wilmington for $40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't do that.
Obviously you can, but not.
Here's another one for $35. This is a Core i3 2120 that's being sold with Windows 10 Pro for $35 cash.
Well, if you want to build a gaming machine, run Windows 7 on it so you can run all your old games.
I guess, but Christ, even an i3 2120 is like literally second generation iSeries. So what's that? Probably like 2008 or something. I don't even know what 2110.
Be interesting to see who buys it.
I'm sure there are people buying it.
Well, I'm maybe, but I'm looking at these two postings that I pulled off the top. These have been sitting on Marketplace for weeks. This process was launched Q1 of 2011. I mean, so you're talking about almost a 16-year-old processor at this point.
Oh.
I mean, that's an old computer. You would not buy a 16-year-old computer.
Nick, did you ever play around? Oh, sorry, Amnon.
No, go ahead.
You ever play around with the Windows 10 long-term service channel, LTSC?
No, I have not.
I thought about that as a possibility.
Yeah,
I think OPatch is actually better.
I mean the LTS stuff is good. I have
You have
never
to buy a
played,
subscription for it though.
Yeah, I've never played with Windows LTS. All of my Linux builds that I run are LTS or Ubuntu or whatever other flavor of Linux.
It's a good idea.
But never Windows, because I really only have two computers. I have my desktop and my laptop, and as soon as I update my desktop, I go not top of the line, but I'll spend $1,300 to get the newest of the stuff that's available, and so I just put whatever the latest OS is on, and the old one just kind of shuffles away into the closet as a backup. So no, never played with LTS.
I think it was like $60 something a year for the subscription.
I don't even remember when I was doing corporate IT. I don't ever remember using LTS for anything. And we had legacy hardware, legacy customers, medical facilities with 80, 90, 100 machines that we were responsible for. I don't ever remember LTS. It could have been, may have been above my pay grade.
I
if
ran into
anybody,
it because of the situation.
If anybody is looking for a job that pays you good, OpenAI is offering a $555,000 salary plus equity to recruit a new head of preparedness.
Oh, okay, I'll go apply.
A high pressure role tasked with anticipating and mitigating extreme AI risks. Hey, $500,000. Not too bad.
So
And
what do they mean by preparedness?
Well, they invented some kind of title.
Wondering what the impact of this product will be on the future.
Yeah. I don't know. Something to be aware of. Insurance giant AFLAC is notifying roughly 22.65 million people that their personal information was stolen from its systems in June 2025. The company disclosed the intrusion on June 20th, saying it had identified suspicious activity on its network in the U.S. on June 12th and blaming it on a sophisticated cybercrime group. So if you have AFLAC insurance, you may get a notification because it says that the company is providing the affected individuals with 24 months of free credit monitoring, identity theft protection, and medical fraud protection service. So AFLAC is a lot of people. I mean, I have AFLAC for everybody. I didn't get, so apparently it's not everybody that everybody's information. But
I think I have four or
five. You pay my
of
insurance?
You what?
You pay for my AFLAC? I wasn't aware of that. Thank you, Emma. It's very kind of you.
I think I have 4 or 5 of these credit monitoring things from breaches over the last couple of years. So I've got like 3 or 4 of them at least running concurrently.
Now, if you have kids, a study by a Singapore government agency has found that children exposed to high levels of screen time before age 2 showed brain development changes linked to slower decision making and higher anxiety in adolescence. adding to concerns about early digital exposure. We must say, Singapore, but Singapore is pretty much up on the front line of the technology.
Yeah.
So something
I'm
to
not
think
surprised
about.
about the anxiety. I am a little curious about the decision making. I wonder what the link is between, because I mean, most television content is pretty fast moving. So that's
Yeah,
interesting.
true. Anything you have that you want to talk about, Nick?
I want to make a quick recommendation. I'm not paid by the company in which I'm making the recommendation for, but if you do literally any UPS, USPS, or FedEx shipping, like even once a year, you need to be using pirateship.com.
Pirate ship.
Pirateship.com. As typical for when I'm home for Christmas, I have to ship all my stuff back because I don't have room to take it back with me. And normally it's a $30 or $40 shipment. It's a larger box. This box was, actually, I can tell you exactly what the size of it was.
They have their own shipping, or they are like a
No.
middleman?
They're a middleman.
Okay.
So the give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure I get the information. So I had a 20 by 14 and a half by 10 inch box. That's a pretty large box. It weighed a little over 17 pounds. I was able to ship it from upstate New York to Wilmington ground shipping for a whopping $18.50. That is normally a $40 or $50 shipment. So you sign up for this website. It's free, pirateship.com. There's no catches or gimmicks with it. You pay for the postage on your computer, and then you print out the label. It can be on just a regular piece of paper, and then you tape over the front of it to your box. And it's heavily, heavily discounted shipping from all three of the major carriers.
Can you also purchase insurance with it?
You can. The one that I used came with $100 carrier, which was way less than what was in there, but I just don't pay for insurance. But yes, you could have added additional insurance if you wanted to.
So does this mean when the guy comes to pick up the package, it's a pirate?
Actually, funny enough, you can schedule pickups too for free, which is crazy through this service. And the reason I shipped UPS was their rate was cheaper than USPS. So it gives you the best rate through all of the carriers, different levels of expressness, air 3-day, air 2-day, regular old ground. So would highly recommend. This is normally a $30, $40, $50 shipping thing for me, and I did it for $18.
Didn't we mention on one of the shows that Amazon is thinking about getting into that business of mail or packages? Like,
I mean, they might. I mean, at a certain point, they're going to have a bigger shipping network than probably FedEx. FedEx is probably the smallest of the three, right? Everybody's got the postal service. UPS is pretty synonymous. I would assume FedEx is the smallest. They're not small, but smallest, outside of like DHL and some of those other guys. So maybe. The problem is with Amazon doing this, who the hell's shipping anything besides Amazon? I mean, that's that they're probably 80% of the packages in the network at any given point in time.
Yeah. Well, it did say that they are now shipping. They're doing the shipping for Walmart or something, for Walmart Plus.
Well, they might be doing some of that same day stuff. That would make sense.
Nick.
Yeah.
One thing you forgot.
Okay.
You forgot to send me the new frequencies.
I did forget to do that.
What is it?
Just 107.9 FM.
Okay. All right. Anything else, guys?
Happy New Year. Sorry for being turdy.
Oh.
As Eddie Van Halen says it.
Sarai.
Bad for two.
Sarai. Okay. Well, like Nick said, Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks, Spence, Nick. Gal, if you're listening, Happy New Year. I hope.
A special Happy New Year to Gall.
Why?
I don't know. You called him out. You called
Yeah.
him out specifically. You said everybody, and then
Yeah, because he hasn't
So-
been here.
I haven't been here either.
Katie. Yeah, and I said Happy New Year too.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Katie's is celebrating her birthday with some friends. So enjoy it, Katie.
Shows where we are on the totem pole of friends. It's fine.
Now,
All right.
all right. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Katie, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And change any same passwords where you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, sorry. But you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Again, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT in Charlotte, and that's at 107.9 FM. And it's on YouTube. So just get on YouTube and search for the Carolina Journal News Hour, and you'll get all the details. And Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., Nick hosts the Nick Craig Show at nickcraig.com. Just go to nickcraig.com and get all the details about how to listen to it, and you can download all the old podcasts. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.